Well, hello again and welcome to the VK6CS Fun with Amateur Radio channel. Well, I increased the positive cathode bias so that it drew about 100 milliamps under the HT voltage that's required. I put the doorknob capacitor in there, the DC blocking capacitor between the valve and the output circuit, and replaced those two temporary 0.016 kV capacitors. And I also gave it a little bit more inductance, and straight away it was far happier. It drew a lot less anode current, produced a lot more RF output for a given amount of drive, and I swung the anode tune through, and I was peaking it up on the it's on a dummy load, of course, peaking it up on the bird watt meter. And started getting a bit close to 1,000 watts, and I could hear something arcing. I thought, well, it sounded just like something arcing, and I thought, well, you know, the capacitors are a good size. You know, it's connected to a 50 ohm dummy load, so the voltage across the output should be pretty low. I couldn't see any arcing on the big one on the top there, and I thought it's not enough power to make these capacitors arc. And so I turned the tune control and sort of backed it off, and it stopped arcing, dropped the power back down about 500 watts or so, and I wound it back up, but then turned the tune control again. As it got up to up towards 1,000 watts again, there was a lot of sort of arcing noise, and then a loud bang, and the thing tripped off. And I thought, oh, fiddle faddle. Anyway, and there was a smell of something burning, and I looked in there, and that was all good. And I looked inside the PA airbox. All the components in there are all okay. And I thought, don't tell me I've ruptured the valve. So I'd read somewhere that you can blow the valve up. And I had a look at the valve, and all looked okay until I saw that. You can see that in this light, can you see that? Just on the edge of the anode radiator there. It's there. And I thought, aha! That's where it's arced. So I looked inside the valve base, and sure enough, it's blown a chunk out of the insulating material there. I don't know if you can see that. Inside the valve base there. There's actually a sort of an indentation, a chunk there. Blown a little chunk out of it, and I don't think that's a coincidence that that's where the peak RF voltage would be. I mean, there's only a temporary parasitic choke that I put in there, so the HT was fed in there, and the RF was taken out of there. So whether that would have happened or not, you know, if I'd have taken the just put a hose clamp, 100mm hose clamp around the anode radiator, like most people seem to do, I don't know. But obviously, right there is where the peak RF voltage is taken out to the tank circuit, and there we go. You can see it's just tracked there. Just tracked onto that. And that's the underneath of it. That's the underneath of it there. Just tracked through. So, yeah. I mean, this is obviously the valve base for this valve. It's got to be. I mean, the valve fits into it. So why that would do that, I have absolutely no idea. Don't know why that did that. It's on a dummy load. It's on the dummy load, isn't it? Yeah. So I think for the time being, I'm stymied. I can't. I don't think I can use that valve, can I? That valve holder. So I'm going to have to make a valve base for it. But that's blooming annoying, because it looked like it was, you know, it was drawing far less anode current, and for the amount of power in, it was producing a lot more power out. So it was on the right track, and then bang. So So there we go, not much I can do about that. Blooming annoying, that. Okay, well, hope you found that interesting. If there's any GS35B amplifier builders out there, you might want to consider maybe not using the, if you can get a socket for it, maybe not use the socket, because I suspect either it's old and the insulation properties on it are not very good, or it's supposed to be mounted on a plate that's insulated from the chassis, maybe. Or it's for another valve that looks very much like that but is half the power. Alright, well, hope you found that interesting. That's it for now, guys. I can't do the cartoon tune, I'm terribly sorry. Thanks for watching as always, and catch you next time.